What's up, everybody? Welcome to Riot Quest TV on the Labrynth Games YouTube channel. This week is a very special week. We're going to be playing a little bit of a catch-up. So each day at noon, we're going to drop a video with 2 characters to break down and talk about. Now, I want to talk about the starter set. So each day we'll do 1 starter character and a character from the Wave 1 set, except for today. Today we're going to be talking about the new figure that just dropped Friday. Well, not this Friday, but the Friday before, that Friday. We're going to be talking about that character because he looks like fun. So sit tight as we get to start on our very first character breakdowns. So, as we start our very first character breakdown, we get to unbox this little guy, the Wastelander. This is the new rogue class. Kind of looks like a samurai ninja looking dude who just dropped 2 Fridays ago. So let's open this guy up and take a look at his cards. So we're going to look at his main card and his equipment card. Bam. So there is the main card. Now, I was super excited about this guy when I saw him before I even saw stats, just because he looked freaking sweet. I'm a classic fighter fan of like Tekken and Street Fighter and fighting games like that, Soul Calibur. He always reminded me of Yoshimitsu from the get-go. But when I saw the stats, I knew this guy was going to be the real deal. This guy looks awesome. So the Wastelander has a speed of 5. That's pretty quick. That's on the higher end of speed. Defense 4-5. That's middle of the ground, especially for a melee class. He can get missed a lot, but he can get hit and crit on a normal basis. And health of 3. Again, that's a pretty middle of the ground health. That's the standard 3 health. But let's check out this very first sweet ability, Deflect. When this model or a model in your crew adjacent to it is targeted by a ranged attack, before resolving that attack, you can roll 1 power die. If you don't roll a miss, the attacking enemy is targeted instead. Oh, that's going to be a very saucy ability. I can just think of a million different things that would be great for right now, but we'll leave that for the official breakdown of the Wastelander. This is just going to be the opening of him until I actually get to play him. Sneak, standard rogue ability. This model can move through spaces occupied by enemies, which is great with a speed of 5, sneaking through people, especially in multiplayer. That works out great. His attack, Mekatana, range of 1, it's melee. 3 blue, 1 red. That's a pretty tough hit for a melee strike. Swift Hunter. I've always liked Swift Hunter. That's one of my favorite abilities. If this model hits a target with this attack, this model can move up to 3 spaces immediately after resolving the attack. The reason why that is awesome, he's so fast, he can move up, hit somebody, move out of melee range, and then start using Deflect. He can move over and get a treasure. He can move to an objective. That melee strike into a Swift Hunter is awesome. I can see this guy taking over the top slot for rogue characters just because he hits like a tank and super fast. I will plan a full breakdown once we've actually played with him later on down the road. I just wanted to show him out and talk about him a little bit, but I think this guy's going to be the real deal. Let's check out his gear. I do like his gear too right off the bat. We got some... The gear is invisible sneakers. If this hero gains +1 speed, which is amazing. I've been waiting for all these gear cards to give speed out. This hero also gains sneak ability and the rogue class in addition to its original class. So we're basically turning any character you want into a rogue, and it gets +1 speed, all for only 3 loot. This is definitely going to make its way into a lot of my geared loadouts. That +1 speed is actually like super valuable. There's so many games where I'm like, I need to get to this objective to win, or I need to get to this treasure because I can get it for free at the cost of just needing 1 more speed and 3 loot. Again, you have the jetpack, which was a more recent gear card, but this is definitely going to be a good loadout. So that's just an all-around good character. I'm liking this guy, and I'll see maybe if I can paint him up to make him look like Yoshimitsu from Tekken. So that was the Wastelander. Now, let's take a look at the starter set and do a character breakdown from that. So the first character we're going to break down from the starter box was one of my top favorite characters when we first got in the game, and was actually one of the most underlooked characters from most players getting into Riot Quest. And that is Sir DooFus, aka Sir Dreyfus. So we'll do a character breakdown of his card, and then we'll talk a little bit about him. Speed 4, so it's a pretty middle of the ground speed. That's not bad. Defense 3-6 for a guard class. That's a pretty good number. 3s can get hit a lot. 6s You gotta get a little savvy to get that crit on him. Stamina 3, middle of the ground. Flank. Enemies within 2 spaces of this model are -1 defense against melee attacks made by models in your crew. That has been one of my favorite moves of all time. I'll get back to that in a second. Safeguard, standard guard ability. Other models in your crew adjacent to this model gain cover. It's +1 defense. And leap. This model performs this action. Place it in an unoccupied space within 2 spaces of its current position. Stormlance. It's range of 1, 4 blue. Electric bolt. 2 range, 2 blue. So let's take a look at DooFus here now. So again, early on when most people start playing Riot Quest for the first time, they overlook Sir DooFus because he's the guard, he's the tankier guy. Doesn't look as flashy as some of their characters that came in it. And most of the time people want to jump into Riot Quest and start banging heads because that's what's fun about games. But when you look at objectives and not directly attacking people, DooFus is very versatile. So not only does he protect your team, and when you look at how hard he can hit, I love the combination of flank and his melee attack of 4 blue. That's basically meaning you're getting 1 dice for white, the 4 blue, and flank means you're getting 1 hit basically right off the bat, on top of anybody else who wants to come in and melee that guy later on. So I think flank is just always overlooked, but one of my favorite abilities. And then you look at leap. Leap is so versatile in this game that when you have to look about using action dice is your best commodity. You can't waste those. I see a lot of people leaping around or doing certain actions that take actions that aren't that big. So you have to make sure that if you use leap, that you're using it to its maximum efficiency. You're leaping to a chest that you can loot, especially if it's a free chest like a blue chest. You're jumping to an objective to finish that objective off. You're leaping next to one of your other characters who is at 1 wound before he's dead, or is like Gubbin, that that extra defense he gets for cover is worth it. You have to make sure you're maximizing that leap. But when you look at how the game has progressed also for the guard class color blue, you have James and you have Boss Mackhorn. I still use Sir DooFus a lot over those two for some reason. Like James is very specific in what that card does. And same thing with Boss Mackhorn, where basically substitute out the throw with the leap. That's kind of the change up there, some small moves. But I've liked how Sir DooFus, aka Sir DooFus, has progressed through all the releases of all the figures out here. I still play them in my league. I would play them in tournaments. I just love this guy. He was just kind of always felt like the underdog when most people looked at him. Just was that guy. So anybody who doesn't think Sir DooFus is the goods, you're wrong. Sir DooFus is awesome. But yeah, so that'd be my character breakdown on DooFus. If you broke it down to like a tier system, like tier 1 would always see most playable in your 6-man list or your 10-man list. Or tier 2 would be, you'd be like, I'd probably play him for more fun over the top tier player. All of the blue guards right now, I feel they all slot in that tier 2 slot. They're all good. You can kind of pick your poison, and whichever one you like more can fit in there. So that's what I like to see in most of these classes. So I'd probably put DooFus in tier 2 slot. But other than that, I don't know what your guys' thoughts on the Wastelander are or on Sir DooFus. Put them down in the comments below and let me know what your thoughts on these 2 character classes are, or if I'm just crazy and I don't think this guy is as good as I think he actually is. And then lastly, on a higher note, we've got a bunch of subscribers. We've got a bunch of comments down below in that first video. We need probably about 20 more subs or comments, and we can bump it up to that 50 mark, and I'll send out that free treasure Bamfist. So make sure to spread the word, or if anybody doesn't know about the channel yet, get them on there, check it out. So I appreciate it, guys. As always, don't touch your face, wash your hands. Game on.